In this tutorial, you'll learn about popular and scholarly source types, their characteristics, and where and how to search for them. When considering the type of source, it's important to think about how and why it was created in the first place. In most cases, someone has an idea and wants to turn it into a published piece to share that information with others. In general, the creation process involves an author writing with a specific audience in mind and conducting research appropriate to meet the needs of that audience. There's often some editing or publication steps involved, and all of this takes time before the information is ready to share with others. Popular sources are often written by journalists for a general audience. To write the article, the author might interview someone, use experience, statistics, or other sources as information. Depending on the publication, an editor may review the piece before it's published, but with the internet, you can't even guarantee that that article gets reviewed by anyone else. Some publications are published daily, weekly, or monthly, but popular sources often have a quick publication cycle to continue producing new content for consumers. Scholarly sources are often written by experts and scientists for other experts and scientists. You can tell their audience by the specialized language they use when they write. To write the article, they often conduct original research, collecting data and evidence through various research methods, or building off of the theoretical research of other scholars and presenting it to colleagues for the first time through this publication. The article is often reviewed by an editor, editorial board, and oftentimes it's peer-reviewed by 2 to 3 other experts in the field before it's published. Publications can be produced quarterly, biannually, or annually because the whole process takes several months to research, write, and review. If we think about the various types of information out there, we can begin to place it on the spectrum of popular and scholarly sources. The author and the intended audience are key indicators of how popular or how scholarly a piece is. So you may need to do some digging on the author or the publication that they've selected to disseminate that information to get a better idea of the intended audience. In general, newspapers and magazines are considered popular sources, and peer-reviewed articles are considered scholarly. Books and other publications fall somewhere in the middle, depending on their audience and the intended use. Of course, there are other types of sources out there too: blogs, podcasts, websites, and other things that can be evaluated based on the author and the audience and classified accordingly. We've covered how the creation process might differ between popular and scholarly sources, but let's take a closer look at a popular source and a scholarly source to see the differences between them. Popular sources may list the author's name, but they often don't include the information about their credentials for writing about the subject. There's no standardized structure, and they tend to be short in length due to the quicker publication cycle and needing to appeal to the general audience. The piece is often a broad view of the topic that may link to a source, but it rarely includes an actual references list. Scholarly sources almost always provide author credentials or an easy way to identify their expertise. They commonly follow a very structured organization to present the scientific process, often including an abstract, introduction, a literature review, methods, results, discussion, and conclusion. They tend to be longer because they provide an in-depth analysis, presenting specialized information that might need additional context to frame it. Scholarly sources will cite lots of sources in a references section. We've talked about the differences between popular and scholarly sources, so now let's talk about where to find them. You can search for popular sources in Forsyth Library's Search Everything tool and use a newspaper, articles, or books filter, or click on the Research Databases button from the Forsyth Library homepage and use the Database Types filter to specify whether you want books, magazines, or newspapers. Use the Subject drop-down menu to filter even further to select a database from the list based on the name and description. Within most of the databases, you'll find a magazines, books, or newspapers filter to help you narrow your results when searching. If you're looking for websites, blogs, podcasts, or other types of sources, you may need to use Google to find it. Forsyth Library contains an abundance of scholarly sources. You can look for scholarly sources by using the Search Everything tool from the library's homepage, and use either the peer-reviewed journals and article filters at the same time, or you can use the books or book chapters filter. You could also search the research databases from the Forsyth Library homepage and use the subject drop-down menu to locate a database that is relevant to your discipline. Filter even further by using the database types filter to specify whether you're looking for books or articles. Select a database from the list based on the name and detailed description, and there will often be a peer-reviewed or scholarly journal filter within each database. If you ever have questions about the types of sources your professor requires or how to find them, you can always ask a librarian.